artists, how's it going? So this week we'll be making Ming Dynasty vases and flowers for spring. I have all my supplies here. I've got a piece of paper, some blue crayons. You can use crayons, colored pencils, paints, whatever works best for you. A black permanent marker and my pencil. So I'm going to start here with drawing a vase. Your vase can be any shape you want it to. In our gallery tour, we saw lots of different vases. You could pick a shaped vase that you liked in our tour. You could draw one like I'm drawing here, or you could invent your own. In your Google Classroom, I also have different examples of vase shapes that you could look at as well. You do not have to worry about your vase being perfectly symmetrical or even on both sides. As you can see, my vase is not perfect. It's not perfectly even, and that's okay. I am also adding some handles on my vase here. That's an option for you too. But like I said before, your vase can be any shape you want it to be. You could even do a bowl if you wanted to. So now that I have the shape of my vase, I'm going to decorate my vase using a pattern. Patterns are different repeated shapes, lines, or images that repeat over and over and over. That's how we create a pattern. So I'm going through with my pencil and creating different patterns and designs. In some of the vases that we saw in our gallery tour, you could see different patterns that were commonly used on Ming Dynasty vases. Some of those patterns included things like flowers, plants, fish, dragons. You could show some of those in your vase, or you can create your own pattern. I'm going to do a little bit of a mixture here. I'm starting with just doing different shapes and lines in different sections of my vases. I'm using things like circles, squares, wavy lines, arches, and also just straight lines. And remember that when we add color to these, you are going to use blue, since all of the Ming Dynasty vases that we looked at were blue and white. As you create your patterns, remember your vase can be unique. It doesn't have to look just like mine. It can be how you want it to be. So now I am drawing in a big open section. This section I'm going to fill with a drawing of different leaves. Maybe you want to do this in yours too. Maybe you want to do yours leaves. Maybe you want to do dragons. Maybe there is a design that you really love to draw and you want to include that. So I'm creating leaves on my Ming Dynasty vase. We'll also be filling these vases with flowers on part 2 of our lesson. Since it's springtime, you might notice that outside there are flowers blooming, our trees are getting leaves again. That makes me so excited for spring and summer. So I wanted to incorporate that in our art lesson. So here I'm putting some of the finishing touches on that design, and then I'm going to keep filling my vase with patterns. I'm going to fill up this entire vase with my fun designs. Here I have some arches. And as a reminder, I'm using my pencil to start with this. That way, if I make a mistake, I know that I can go back and erase. Here I'm adding some squiggly lines for this section of my vase. You can see that I used a lot of circles in my designs. And now I am almost at the very top. I filled my whole vase with designs. Something else that I want to remind you of that I probably should have reminded you of earlier is that you want to make sure that your vase is nice and big. It doesn't have to take up your entire page, but it should take up most of it. Next, I'm outlining my pencil with Sharpie. This is an option for you. You don't have to do it. I just kind of like the way it looks, which is why I did it. And finally, it is time to color. So I have different shades of blue that I found in my crayon box. I have several different ones. So for this part, you could use many different color blues, or you could just use one blue. Also try to make sure that you leave some white spaces too. My final step for today is I am cutting my vase out. You can do that too. And then next time we will be ready to add our flowers.